What if I told you that the reason you feel tired every morning, gain weight for no reason, lose focus at work, and can't seem to recover the way you used to, all has one common root cause? It's not your age, it's not your willpower, it might be something happening silently inside your body right now. And most people never find out until it's caused serious damage. Welcome! In this video, we're going to talk about chronic inflammation, what it actually is, what it does inside your body step by step, and why mainstream medicine is calling it one of the most dangerous health crises of the 21st century. According to the World Health Organization, chronic inflammatory diseases are the leading cause of death globally, responsible for nearly 3 out of every 5 deaths worldwide. And yet most people walking around right now have no idea that their body is in a constant, low-grade state of alarm, slowly damaging their blood vessels, brain, gut, and metabolism, without a single dramatic symptom to warn them. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what inflammation is doing inside you, and what you can start doing today to stop it. Inflammation is not your enemy. At least, it wasn't designed to be. When you cut your finger, get a cold, or twist your ankle, your immune system launches an immediate response. White blood cells rush to the site. Chemical signals called cytokines flood the area. Blood flow increases. Swelling, redness, and warmth appear. And that is your body actively trying to protect and heal you. This short-term inflammatory response, called acute inflammation, is one of the most powerful healing mechanisms your body has. It works, it resolves, and then it stops. Chronic inflammation is something completely different. Imagine your body's alarm system getting triggered, but instead of shutting off after the threat is gone, it stays on. Day after day, week after week, months, years. Your immune system keeps sending out inflammatory signals even when there is nothing to fight. And over time, those signals start damaging the very tissues and organs they were designed to protect. Inflammation that lasts longer than 6 weeks becomes chronic and destructive. So what keeps that alarm switched on? The answer might surprise you, because it's not always disease. Sometimes it's just how most of us live every day. Here are the most scientifically established triggers of chronic inflammation. Ultra-processed food and excess sugar. Poor sleep, less than 7 hours per night. Chronic stress, elevated cortisol. Physical inactivity, long periods of sitting. Excess body fat, especially visceral belly fat. Smoking and excess alcohol. Environmental toxins and pollutants. Each of these activates immune pathways that begin releasing pro-inflammatory compounds, including a chemical marker called C-reactive protein, or CRP, which doctors now use as a blood test to measure your body's inflammatory load. High CRP equals your body is in an inflammatory state. Research from 2025 found that over 36% of adults already show elevated CRP levels, meaning more than 1 in 3 people are currently in a state of chronic systemic inflammation without knowing it. And when left unchecked, this is where it gets serious. Your blood vessels are lined with a thin, delicate layer of cells called the endothelium. Under normal conditions, this lining is smooth, flexible, and keeps blood flowing freely. But when inflammation circulates in the bloodstream, it begins to irritate and damage this lining. As the endothelium becomes inflamed, the artery wall becomes sticky, allowing fatty deposits, cholesterol, and immune cells to cling to it and build up over time. This is called atherosclerosis, and it is now understood to be driven primarily by inflammation, not just cholesterol alone. Over years, this plaque grows, and inflammation inside the plaque can eat away at the fibrous cap covering it. When that cap ruptures, the contents spill into the artery, trigger a blood clot, and block blood flow entirely. A heart attack is not just a cholesterol problem, it's an inflammation problem. People in the highest quartile for inflammatory markers have 2 to 3 times the risk of a cardiovascular event compared to those with lower inflammation levels. Here is something most people are never told. If you've been struggling with stubborn weight, especially around the belly, or you crash after meals, lose energy in the afternoon, or constantly crave sugar, inflammation may be directly responsible. Inflammation disrupts how your body responds to insulin. Insulin is the hormone that allows glucose, your blood sugar, to enter cells and be used as energy. When your body is inflamed, the cells can begin to resist insulin's signal. Glucose builds up in the bloodstream, your pancreas works harder, energy becomes unstable. It becomes a cycle that is very hard to break, because high blood sugar itself causes more inflammation, which causes more insulin resistance, which causes more fat storage. Meanwhile, visceral fat, the fat stored deep inside the abdomen around your organs, actively releases inflammatory cytokines of its own, making the problem worse the longer it goes unaddressed. Belly fat is not just stored energy, it's an active source of inflammation. This is why telling someone to just eat less and exercise more often doesn't work until the inflammation driving the cycle is addressed first. If you regularly experience bloating, digestive discomfort, stiff joints in the morning, skin flare-ups, or find that you get sick more often than others, these are not random, unconnected problems. The gut lining is only one cell thick. Chronic inflammation can compromise its integrity, a condition sometimes described as increased intestinal permeability. This allows bacteria, toxins, and undigested food particles to enter the bloodstream, triggering even more immune activation. An inflamed gut equals a more reactive immune system. In the joints, inflammatory signals cause the synovial membrane, the tissue lining your joints, to become swollen and irritated. The result? Pain, stiffness, and slower recovery after physical activity. For your immune system, chronic inflammation creates a paradox. Your immune system is constantly busy, yet becomes less effective at responding to actual threats, like viruses and bacteria. This is why chronically inflamed individuals often find they are both more reactive and more vulnerable at the same time. Chronic inflammation equals immune system constantly distracted and slowly burning out. Here is the most important thing I want you to hear. Chronic inflammation is not a life sentence. It responds, often quite quickly, to consistent daily habits. Your lifestyle is either feeding inflammation or fighting it, every single day. Let's go through what the science consistently shows reduces systemic inflammation. Sleep 7 to 9 hours every night. Sleep is when your body clears inflammatory waste from the brain through the glymphatic system. Poor sleep is one of the fastest ways to spike inflammatory markers. Even one night of poor sleep measurably increases CRP and IL-6, two of the most tracked inflammatory markers in clinical research. Move your body, even a short walk after meals. Regular movement reduces inflammatory cytokines and improves insulin sensitivity within days. You do not need extreme exercise. Studies show even 20 to 30 minutes of brisk walking consistently reduces inflammatory biomarkers over time. Eat an anti-inflammatory diet. Prioritize leafy greens, fatty fish, berries, olive oil, turmeric, nuts, legumes, and whole grains. Reduce ultra-processed foods, refined sugar, seed oils, and excess alcohol, all of which directly activate inflammatory pathways. Manage stress actively. Chronic cortisol activates NF-kappa B, a master switch for inflammatory gene expression. Breathwork, time in nature, limiting screen time, and social connection are all scientifically validated stress reducers that lower inflammatory load. Optimize your gut health, add fermented foods and prioritize fiber. And reduce excess visceral fat. Even a 5 to 10% reduction in body weight can measurably lower systemic inflammatory markers. Most people begin noticing changes in energy, focus, and morning recovery within 2 to 4 weeks of addressing these areas consistently. Better energy, clearer thinking, fewer crashes, less pain, all downstream of lower inflammation. Let me leave you with this. 3 in 5 people worldwide will die from a chronic inflammatory disease. But inflammation is not something that happens to you randomly. It is, in large part, a response to how we live, what we eat, how we sleep, how we move, and how we manage stress. Which means for most people, it is also something that can be meaningfully reduced through informed, consistent action. You cannot see inflammation, but you can feel the difference when it goes down. If this video helped you understand what might be happening inside your body and gave you a clearer path forward, then share it with someone who needs to hear this. It might matter more than you think. And before you go, I want to ask you one question in the comments. Which symptom do you recognize most? Drop it below. It helps me know what to cover next, and it might help someone else in the comments realize they're not alone. If you want more science-backed, no-fluff health content like this, subscribe and hit the bell. A new video goes up every week. Take care of your body. It's the only one you have.